Hi there, I'm Andrew, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about cochlear implants. Profound deafness was, for a very long time, an untreatable condition, until this guy, Alessandro Volta, decided to insert 2 wires into his ears and complete a circuit with a battery. What he felt next was une recu dans la tête, or a boom within the head. Since then, a whole bunch of other scientists like E.F. Evans and William House have done a ton of research on the ears. Now, because of those scientists, we have a cochlear implant that works well enough that profoundly deaf patients can understand speech, hear someone walking up behind them, and in some cases even listen to music. So how exactly does this work? I talked to Dr. Margaret Meredith at Seattle Children's to find out.
So a cochlear implant is designed to provide electrical stimulation to a damaged cochlea, so a deafened cochlea. And so it consists of 2 main components. There's an internal component, which this is an actual example of one. And the internal component has the magnet that keeps the speech processor on. Kind of a plate. This is the area we call the receiver stimulator. This is the brains of the operation. That's the processing chip, and also what tells the implant how to do its job. And then down here at the end is our electrode array that actually goes into the cochlea.
So to recap, we have our magnet, which holds the speech processor onto the head, the brain of the machine receiving code from the processor and telling the electrodes how to fire, and the electrodes themselves, which fire electronic impulses into the cochlea.
So what happens is a person wears an external component called a speech processor. It has microphones that pick up sound back here. That sound is then essentially digitized and sent to the internal device in code. And the internal device then takes that information and tells the electrode array how to fire.
Different implant models come with anywhere from 12 to 22 electrodes. The array is strung through the cochlea, and each electrode works as a channel coded for high or low sounds, just as the base of a normal cochlea codes for high frequency sounds and the apex low ones. Before we go any further, we should take a look at how a normal ear functions versus a cochlear implant. In a normal ear, sound waves are picked up by the outer ear and funneled down the ear canal to the eardrum. Then, those waves are transmitted through the malleus, incus, and stapes, or the ossicles, which also amplifies them up to 20 times. These vibrations are then sent through a small opening called the oval window into the cochlea, where fluid picks up the vibrations and stimulates hair cells that convert the vibration into neural signals. These signals are then sent to the brain for processing via the auditory nerve. As outlined earlier by Dr. Meredith, the process is about the same with a cochlear implant, but electronic parts do all of the work, completely bypassing the damaged parts of the ear. A microphone picks up sound, which is sent to a processor, which picks out speech or any other sound it is programmed to hear and sends the finished product to a transmitter. This transmitter then sends code to the internal receiver, which deciphers the code and tells the electrode situated in the cochlea how to fire. The electronic impulses fired by the electrodes serve as stimulators for the auditory nerve. Unfortunately, cochlear implants do not create perfect hearing, as there are only 12 to 22 channels in an implant as opposed to hundreds of natural hair cells. While it isn't really possible to hear exactly what a cochlear implant sounds like without receiving one, Alexander D. Chapin from ASU Research has a video in which you can hear an estimate of what a cochlear implant sounds like, created by sending sound through channels, much like a cochlear implant does. Here's an audio clip from that video.
Here's what speech sounds like through the implant. Again, first the input to the implant, and then its match.
It was a full moon 3 nights ago.
It was a full moon 3 nights ago.
Don't live beyond your means.
Don't live beyond your means.
Cochlear implants have changed and improved the lives of thousands of people. Telling their own stories now are Hank Malter and Komal Verma.
The ability to be outdoors and to hear a bird sing and to know that it's singing and to know where it's coming from is really the things that have become quite memorable. But it's a whole new novel experience. Changed my life, turned it right around.
When I was about 3 months old, my parents had found out that I was deaf and I only had little hearing, and they fitted me with hearing aids, but that wasn't enough, so I got the surgery at 5.5 years old. not to take life for granted, that you have to work with what you have. And because I got the Cochlear implant, I focused a lot at school, and right now I know how to play the piano and the flute.
For many people, however, this is not the case. There is much controversy in the deaf community. Some people like cochlear implants, and some people believe that they are destroying the way of life and respect as a group that the deaf community has fought so hard to achieve. Cochlear implants and the science of correcting hearing loss have come monumentally far since that fateful day that Volta stuck wires in his ears, and continues to grow. In the future, scientists hope to move toward common use of totally internal devices, making cochlear implants less invasive and more efficient. I hope that you found this presentation informative and interesting, and I hope that it inspires you to go out and learn more.